Our personal experiences not only have the power to refine us into the persons we were created to be, but our personal experiences also have the potential to impact and change the lives of others. Many people believe that there is nothing much they can contribute to this world. They struggle to find the value attached to their mere existence. However, truth be told, every day, every hour, every minute, every second we are alive is fabricated into each chapter of our life's journey. Woven into each of our stories are experiences beyond our control, seasons of celebrations, new beginnings, necessary endings, and life-changing lessons. In this season, I'll be speaking with persons from the realms of education, love, faith, business, and relationship to dive into how they have turned their challenges and experiences into refining moments. Welcome to the Her Reigning Journey podcast, where our conversations enrich, encourage, and empower others. I'm your host, Katharina Carbon. Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Her Reigning Journey podcast. On today's episode, we'll be joined by Miss Rita Alexander Carty, affectionately known to me as Teacher Carty, who was born on the island of Dominica and living in St. Martin for over 4 decades. She was married for 23 years and is the mother of 6 children. She's an educator and has been teaching for over 4 decades. She's very outgoing and energetic. Thank you so much for being here with us, Teacher Carty. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
You know, as I was telling you early on before, it's like you're drinking from the fountain of youth.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you were my teacher since I was yay high, early stimulation, and you look fresher and younger than ever.
Oh, thanks for the compliment. I humbly accept your words of, I don't know if it's flattering, but I'll take it. And I'll keep doing whatever it is I'm doing, which is working very hard.
Awesome.
Yes.
Keep up the good work, Teacher Carty.
Thank you.
Good work. So first thing we want to ask you is, tell us something interesting about yourself that no one doesn't know.
Something interesting about myself that no one knows. Oh, boy. Everybody knows Teacher Carty, Sister Rita, Auntie Merle. Something that you don't know. I believe that persons out there may not know that I have some very, very sad moments at times. Because most people say, you're always bubbly, and whenever I see you, have this smile. But you don't know that it's by His grace that I have this smile. Sometimes in here, it gets tough. And I buckle and bend.
Oh, yes. And I mean, you know, we are all human, and oftentimes people tend to have that perspective. So anytime you be like, okay, today is just not one of those good days, it's like, that's not you. But at the end of the day, you're still human. And as you said, you know, by the grace of God, that's keeping you and upholding you. It's, a lot of times it's good that we don't look how we feel on the inside, you know, but we still can't run away from the fact that we are still human and we all have our moments, you know?
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. And what has been your motivation for still being a teacher for so many years, over 40 decades?
Over 4 decades.
Over 4 decades.
Oh my God, then I really bathing in the fountain of youth.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. Okay. I believe being a teacher, from a little girl, I remember talking to my mother's hibiscus plants. We always had hedge to borrow from the neighbor. And I used to say your ABC. And I used to be hitting them or take the soda bottles from back in the days and they were actually dollies to take grass, put in the mouth, and I would give them names and say your ABC. And my mother always used to say, that's what you're going to do to the people, children, ball out at them. And I kept that goal, that drive to want to be a teacher, because there was this teacher in Dominica, teacher Vernice,
Yeah.
and Mrs. Belloni. She had such a warmness about her. And I said, oh, if I'm ever a teacher, I want to be able to care for children, not only to teach them, but to care for them, to make them feel loved.
Yes.
And here I am. Going. I still have a few more years to go.
Really?
If I'm not swept off my feet before then.
Wow. So you want to go straight through till the end?
Straight through pension.
Yeah.
If the only thing that would stop me is if I am swept off my feet. Let's leave it as that.
Wow, that is really a passion and a drive. And has there been any big difference that you have seen over the 4 decades teaching from one generation to a next generation?
Oh, yes. When I had students like yourself, as you said earlier, I could have said, when you go home, tear paper, make me a picture with only red, and the majority of the class would have brought the assignment.
Correct.
Now, teacher, I was dead. Teacher, we didn't have no magazines at home. Call the parents. Well, all afternoon he was on his tablet. They have more distractions. They have, some have phone, tablet, PSP, and they name me the stuff that they have. And to me, if you have a phone, you could play game with your phone, but they have their phone, they have their tablet, they have computer, and they have the extra game, XP, whatever. And it's a lot of distraction.
Correct.
And since the COVID, it's worse.
Wow.
It is worse. And it's not only the toddlers or the, let's say, first and second graders, it's straight up to grade 6, because I'm in elementary school. It's straight up to grade 6, and even the high school, you hear that they're not completing their projects or whatever, their homework, which is reinforcement for what was done during the day.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. The cooperation is a vast gap there, and COVID just added to it.
Yeah.
The Zoom classes, that just crash everything. Students are not sitting upright right? So the handwriting is going down. Their concentration is not there, because on Zoom, they could have been on Zoom and turn off the camera and they do whatever.
Correct.
And they come back, they didn't hear anything that you taught.
Yeah.
So yes, the challenges are greater than
Before.
back 1990, 1990. No, it's different. It's different.
Oh yeah, I totally understand what you're saying, because I remember back then we came home from school and first thing my mom would say is, do you have homework today? Open our bag, and she would go inside and see what it is that the teacher gave you for the assignment, and then the next day she'll make sure that she have to sign off on it, because the work has to be completed and done. So we were not getting away.
Testify.
And the thing is, our dad is like, you know what? He's working so hard and he's not going to be having you coming home with all of these complaints and work not done. So it's like, okay, they're going to make sure it's completed and done, you know?
Yeah, but now most parents have 2 and 3 jobs. So
Yeah.
they have to hustle and struggle with payment cards and all of that. So sometimes the children see them in passing, like
Correct.
when mom is getting ready for work, the school bus comes, or the private bus, and you go.
Yeah.
Then you go to afternoon class, and mom leaves one job, go to the other, and then you're dropped off at auntie, and then mom pick you up in the night. Because most parents are single mothers,
Yes.
or if it's both parents, you still find a lagging
Yes.
here, which is very few that we have.
Yeah.
both parents are at home. So yeah, the struggle is really real.
Wow. And in spite of those challenges, you still have been able to maintain, that passion and that love, because you actually said you want to go through until the end, hopefully if you're not swept away. So you
Yes.
still have that passion and that desire within you to still
Yes.
want to pursue.
I really love what I do. I
Yeah.
really love it. And the young people, I say, I get born a couple times where you entrust yourself to help a child, and at the end, that child becomes somebody and passes you like, who is she?
Wow.
And you say, you're all excited, like me, that's teacher Carty.
Yes.
Like when I see Carty come back, hey Carty, how are you? Glad to see you.
Yes.
That's just me. I remember my students, the minister Melissa comes. I taught her as a baby. I think I have pictures of her and Super Kevin.
Yeah.
I had them when I worked by the other school.
Yeah.
So that's even more years again. And when I meet them, I can't just say hi. I have to
Yeah.
give this, because I still feel like I am Auntie Merle, and they know me as Auntie Merle back then. So I'm Auntie Merle to them. Like if Melissa would, the first time when I made contact, and she would have maybe shown me, would you believe that would hurt me?
Of course.
What?
Of course.
I teach that little girl. So yeah, um, I want to see the best come out of
Yes.
every child.
Yes.
And even if they're scorned or maybe ridiculed by their peers, I was saying, you can always come by Teacher Carty. And then sometimes my children, they don't want to go to the supermarket with me because they say, we can never go to the supermarket and come out because
Someone
know
knows you.
mommy in the aisle. Somebody, Teacher Carty, and then conversations that, so how is he doing? And is he in college? And what is he? You follow up, mommy. Just leave it go, mommy. Let it go. But I can't. I try, but it just brings me this joy to know that they're excelling, they're doing well. And even when they leave me from, well, now I'm in grade 1, but when I was in early stimulation or kindergarten, I always ask the higher grades, how are they doing? Still talkative, still writing on tidy. I remember them for some reason. So, yes, I love my job. I really do. And sometimes I envision myself working somewhere else or doing something else. And my daughter Joy, she often says, nah, you could see yourself doing that, mommy. Nah, maybe for a time, but you will remember the children, you will. So, yes,
It's the
I
love.
think it was a gift of God
Oh, yes.
to me, graced me with that. and
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, well, you do it so well. And as you said, it is such a good joy seeing teachers, those that really love us and care for us, still maintain that relationship, still in our lives. Because when I go back on Facebook, I have yourself as well as a few other teachers from primary, kindergarten. And it's so good just to see when, for example, you might reach out and say, happy birthday to you guys, or how you guys doing, or even, cheer us on in our new endeavors that we are doing. For me personally, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because then it shows that you care more about the person than just, okay, here, you know what, I'm here to do a job and it's done, but that you really concern and care. So thank you so much for what you do and for, being so passionate about what you do. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. No, for real.
Oh, yes. I know it comes to be a teacher or to deal with young people or children. You have to have this grace. And it's nothing spooky about it. It's just that if it's for the money, it ain't got no money in it. Because the work that you're doing, you're not even compensated for that. So it has to be a love for you to do it and do it the best that you can and keep pushing.
Yes.
Because sometimes you just feel like, I don't know what else to do. And not even sometimes some parents won't even say like, thank you, teacher, because they feel like, oh, I'm paying school fees, so you have to do what you're being
Yes.
paid to do. But a little thank you goes a long way.
Yes.
Even the children drawing, I had some children, they drew some pictures for Valentine's, and they say, teacher, you're going to get a surprise. You're going to get a surprise. And I'm like, I'm going to get a surprise. But that morning they came and they
Yeah.
tore paper. And for me, you should see, I have all stock all in a little corner by my door, just to say that they felt like they needed to give me hearts,
Yeah.
give me flowers like roses. That was their way of showing.
Yeah.
Might say it's stupidness. So, well, that's what, no, I cherish that.
Yeah.
And I have some drawings from way back, moons away. But the thought of the child
Yes.
giving you that, it says a lot and it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how other educators might feel like I just come to do my job and that's it. For me, it's more than that.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And for over the 4 years, four decades
Yeah.
that you have been doing it, how have you still been able to maintain, all the students that you have in your classroom, then still go home? And as we said earlier, you're a mother of 6 children and still have a husband. How were you able to balance it?
Oh boy, that was a task. But I must give credit to my deceased husband.
Yeah.
He was always a part of whatever I did. So he made it, I don't want to say easy, but he made it flow. We communicated a lot. So if I said, today I'm going to be doing a craft with my class, and he say, what time? I would say, what time? He was a bus driver.
Yeah.
So he would stop and come over by the school. Who giving teacher trouble? I teach your father, because the children used to say, teacher, your father coming. So he would come in, and while he's busy entertaining a group, I am with a smaller
nice.
group. So he was like a teacher aide to me.
Yes.
And after a few years, he became like part of the school because everybody knew Mr. Carty, Mr. Carty. So that helped. And at home, if I was washing, he was hanging out the clothes. If I
Nice.
was cleaning, he would have the children, you clean your room. He would follow up with that. So it was never, I can honestly say it was never me alone
Yeah.
doing all the tasks. That was something in my early life that I would forever remember.
Yeah.
That having that person that is 100% in it with you.
Yeah.
So it makes your task even easier. People ask, 6 children? Yes, we did it.
Yeah.
And it was like, we had Joy, then Isaac, and then we actually waited 3 years in between. People think they were just...
You said actually.
Because sometimes people say, but you all were not sleeping. We waited 3 years, then we got Joseph and Elisha, then 3 years, and then Aisha and Isaiah. And it was really a family thing.
Yeah.
And I thank God for having me experience that the first half of my life. Because I am hopefully going to get married again.
Ah.
Yes, that's when I stepped off my feet. That's what I meant.
Oh, that's what you
Yes,
meant.
that's the only reason why I would.
No, I understand. I was thinking something else different, but I know.
That's it.
Teacher
That's
Carty.
it. That's the only reason I would leave
Yes.
teaching.
Yes.
Because then all that I've learned and experienced with my first marriage, I think I have a wealth of experience there in a basket
Yes.
that I would love to share with somebody and
Right here.
bring some joy, add some joy, because that person needs to have some joy too. So I think I have enough there that I can share.
Wow.
So that would be the only thing that would cause me to actually stop teaching. Maybe do it as a vocational or
Yes.
voluntary work.
Wow.
But yeah, that experience with my husband coordinating and assisting with the housework and the children, following up with homework and schoolwork, visiting the school. We never allowed one person to go see the teacher. Both of us went. So it wasn't like a strain on me.
Correct.
Oh, I have to do everything. No,
Yes. Yes.
we did it together.
Together.
Yes, I can testify about it.
And I remember you said in the beginning when I read your bio that you guys were married for 23 years.
Yes, we were married for 23 and we were busy planning our 25th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
So death was nowhere on the horizon. We didn't have that in the chapter.
Yes.
So it was 23 wonderful years.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was young. I was 25. I was much more outgoing than what I was now. I am now.
Yes.
And he helped like mellow that out and smooth that down. Not wipe it out, but
Yes.
he complimented me.
Correct.
And gave me my space. I was in the adult drama. That's something you don't know about me, some of you. In the drama with Ian Valls, I represented St. Martin in Canada at Carabana,
Nice.
acting in the play Masquerade that Ian Valls wrote. And I was Nikki, the very hype girl. Yes. And so he gave me my space. He allowed me to use my talents. I loved acting, still love it. Loved acting. So he would sit in the car and wait as we rehearsed. Sometimes we rehearsed till 1 a.m. and he's right in that car waiting patiently for me. And the guys couldn't believe it. Sometimes they would say like, Mr. Carty out there. I'm like, sure he ain't gonna leave you? Not him.
Wow.
He just wanted to know I was safe.
Correct.
He will be the one to drive me home because maybe I'll be tired and sleepy.
Yeah.
So yes, he was part of my entire being, and the 23 years is 23 wonderful years.
Wow.
And he never got vexed.
Never got vexed.
I, Miss Spicy, would get vexed and say, like, you didn't see what the child is. Rita, we go upstairs, we'll discuss that. Never discuss that in front of the children. And I thank God for him showing me that it is real, it can work, it can be possible. And it's just that you have to be determined that that's what you want.
Yes.
And my husband, Patrick, he was a determined young man. He denounced generation stuff that he saw happened
Wow, that's powerful.
with his family, and he said it's going to end with me.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, right. And it did. He was just different.
Yeah.
And I thank God for giving me that little space to experience some niceness, some gleam, glam, and glam. I did. Yes.
No, I love it. I love to hear it, Teacher Carty, because hearing these things are so encouraging. Because sometimes when you see marriages these days and you hear different things and other different stories, you wonder like, wow, does it being workable or being right or being compatible really and truly
Yes,
still
I know
exist?
marriage can work, but it takes a cooperation and giving the person their space, but knowing you go and there's a longing to see you come back to speak. Like he goes by his friend in Colby, and I am anxiously waiting, like when he comes back. And he go to drive the bus. I'm on vacation, and I'm anxiously waiting for him to come home.
Yes.
And when he comes home, it's like, I missed you, and take off the socks and massage the foot.
Oh,
and
that's so sweet.
yes.
So sweet.
Oh my
so
God.
sweet.
Yes, so it can work, but both of you have to decide that that's what you want. I love you, you love me. We had the honeymoon stage and all of that, but after that, let's learn to be ourselves.
Yeah.
And I get in a temper. How can you contribute to helping me get in the temper but not get out of control?
Yes. Yes.
And we complemented.
Complement each other.
We had that. It was more him working on me too because I was a firecracker. Yes.
And I think probably that's what he loved about you, the firecrackerness about you.
Maybe. I think so. I think so because he was really a quiet chap.
Yeah.
So he used to tell me, be you, because there can only be one you.
So true.
And with me being me, he used that to wash me with the word. He used the word.
The word.
The word, yes. I remember him telling me one day, I think it was Jeremiah 29:11. Don't quote me if it's the wrong one. Somewhere in Jeremiah, I think 29:11. I know the plans I have for you, the Lord.
Yes.
Is telling me, see, and I was like, you're such a nice person. He told me, listen to me. If it's in the word, if I can tell you the book, chapter, and the verse, it's because it's for you.
Wow.
And if it's for you, let's try to see how we're going to tap into that combination to get it out.
Wow.
And that got me interested in studying God's word and being the woman that I am after he passed.
Yeah.
Having to deal with the children and myself and all the tasks that was laid there before me because, as I said earlier, death was nowhere on the horizon.
Correct.
So yes, he has helped me to become that strong person. And even in his passing, sometimes when I go in the book of Proverbs, he could have quoted Proverbs from his head.
Yeah.
So when I go in the book of Proverbs, I say, oh, that's where he got that from. Because that man he was just in tune with God, like God needed him up there.
Wow.
Yes.
Such a beautiful story, Teacher Carty, and it's so inspiring too as well. And how did you guys meet? Did you guys meet here in St. Martin or back in Dominica?
Oh God, that's an interview by itself. I attended Priest Tabernacle in Colby.
Okay.
And his sister Francoise invited me home this Sunday because that's stuff we used to do as youths, go over each other on Sunday, and then Sunday night service, you come back in the bus and you go home.
Yeah.
So I came off the bus and he was sitting on his great aunt's step. Some other guys were there. And when I step out of the bus, he said, she there? That's going to be my wife. And I was like, hello. First time I saw somebody with freckles. A lot of freckles. I was like, hello. All his freckles on his face. Get eye past me, boy. And I detested that young man. I was like,
wow.
Ain't no way
You gave him a hard time.
I'm going to be near you. And he didn't give up. Wow. Oh my God. He didn't give up. Sent me flowers and chocolate and croissants and French pastries.
Wow.
By our friend Melanie. He would give her little notes for me, and it was like he don't give up.
He was determined. He was determined.
He was. And as you said, you're there laughing. I remember our first date. It was not a date. It was actually me saying, he wanted to go out. He went, and he was very, he respected protocol.
Yes.
He went to my sister who I lived with. She brought me to St. Martin, Carty Rogers. She's deceased now.
Okay.
And he came to my sister and he said, I want to take your sister out. She said, well, if she wants to go, okay. So I was like, okay, you're going to take me out. I'm going to go. And went. The young man actually got a restaurant. Well, he organized everything. The video was. It was on the waterfront.
Okay.
The waterfront was not as developed as it is because the sea was coming all there. The waves were breaking right there.
Yeah.
And had the restaurant all decorated nice.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I sat there and couldn't eat because I was so amazed at all the niceness and the soft music. That was my first time.
Wow.
And the candlelight and all of that.
Wow.
And then just when I settled down, he said, oh, it's 9:30 and I told your sister I was going to bring you back. And I'm like, oh, no. Something wrong with this guy. He's not for real. No. And I got all upset. And for real, we reached by my sister's house on the dot.
Wow. Wow.
And she was like, that's a young man. Respect time.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm 18, give me a break. But he kept that, and I must say that those are some memories that I will forever remember. So I can't put the bar any lower.
Oh, I love that. So the next person that is thinking about sweeping you off your feet, I hope you are hearing this, that you know she is not setting the bar any lower. So, brother, my teacher Carty, you know that you have to treat her. You know the bar.
That's
you know where the
right,
bar is set.
That's right.
Wow, I love it, teacher Carty. So how has it been like coping? Like how have you been able to cope for the past few years?
8 years.
Past 8 years.
I've had my moments. Something I've learned is to guard who you have in your circle, who goes down with you and able to bring you back up,
Correct.
or who contributes to just having you stay down there in that low bottom of the well or the dungeon. I've learned that I have to be very, very observant and aware of who I'm opening up myself to
Yeah.
and what information I should and should not share. Because there are nice people out there, but there are some people who, you will not believe me, but they celebrate when you lose, when you're weak. They celebrate. They don't come out with a bang and fanfare, but you can tell that they're not in it with you.
Yeah.
And I had to learn, get some hurts, learn about that whole mechanism.
Yeah.
That I can actually even caution other persons who may find themselves in my situation to be careful who you open up yourself to, because sometimes you, believe you me, persons use that, your weakness on you when you are most vulnerable, and that even cripples you more than what you may be experiencing, because they know stuff, and instead of using that stuff to build you or to pray behind the scene for you, they usually go and they tell Dick, they tell Tom, they tell Harry, and then and there you are. You already have to face grief, and then you have to face, oh, I wonder what they're saying over my shoulder. I wonder who is saying, who is talking. So yes, the 8 years, I thank God for my elder children, especially Isaac. Isaac has been a powerhouse for me.
Wow.
A powerhouse with the word, reminding me of the word, reminding me of the word. And I thank God that we did not neglect the word when we were training them, when we were bringing them up. They got it wholesale, retail, and cash and carry too. So, yeah. So it's something that may seem simple to some people. Yeah, let them know the memory verses. Let them know the verses. Let them practice to pray,
Yes.
even to bless the lunch, bless the food. Pray for a situation. Give them the opportunity.
Yeah.
I have seen it work. I thank God for bringing joy back to St. Martin because lately I found myself saying a lot, "Boy, if you were not here,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done." Because we have grown into being friends,
Yeah.
and it is warming to the heart to know that I can have a conversation, I can laugh, I can be silly, I can put on something and she say, "No way, mommy." Or, "Excuse me." She makes these little comments that it really gives me this inner strength.
Yeah.
She's going to know now. Oops. I was going to say she doesn't know about it, but
No, she
it's
knows.
out now in the
No, she
open.
knows. She's living up to her name of joy. She's
Yes,
bringing you that
yes.
joy.
And do you know that Joy, that name came because the doctor said we were having a boy. And so we had the name Isaac prepared.
Yeah.
Isaac, Nikolai, Patrick, Carty.
Wow.
And when Sister Lillian said, "Oh no, it's a girl," we looked at each other like, "A girl? We're not prepared for a girl." And our father said, "Well, she's going to bring me joy."
Wow.
And Isaac means laughter. And
Yes.
he said, "So joy it is." So we had the first name, and after the next day she said she'll come back for what the middle name would be. But joy came out right away, joy, and she brings joy.
Joy.
She is joy, joy, joy.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, she joy. She does it wherever she goes with anyone that she knows she goes around, and she's just like, "Hey," and she's like you, Teacher Carty. She's like
God,
you.
people keep saying that, and I say, "Oh Lord, no, please God, no." Because all 6 of them are different.
Yes,
all
yes.
6 of them are different. You have those, Joe, but all of them have this warmness about them that they can be hospitable to
Yes.
whoever
That is true.
they're placed in.
Oh yeah, definitely. We
Yes.
had Joseph with us for one of our
Conferences?
the concerts that we had,
Okay.
and he drummed for us, and it was like a glass of water.
Yes,
Smooth
yes,
sailing.
yes.
He was just smooth, like, "All right, no problem. I'll be there." Going with the flow.
And that's them. They're committed to whatever they commit themselves to, they will remain committed to it. And you can trust them with time, and that's in them. Elisha, Joseph, where music is concerned.
Yeah.
Even Isaiah, the last one, very committed to that.
Yeah.
Music, they love music. Aisha and Joy are the dancers. I don't know if Aisha dances anymore, but she's more into basketball. Yes. But all of them, they're different, but they have this heart,
Yes.
hospitable.
Oh, so you guys did a wonderful job in raising them. Wonderful, wonderful job. And I know that you are definitely proud, and that Mr. Carty too as well, looking down, is proud too, But Teacher Carty, if you had to write a book
Oh boy,
tomorrow, what would you write about?
what I would write about. Oh boy. I have so many titles for different little. I envision myself writing small. What do they call them?
Like the little pocket
Little
books.
pocket books.
Yeah.
And one would surely be. This one is kind of hard because some of the experiences I have with my husband, I think that other young men, women too, but young men would know that it is possible. You don't have to have $1 billion, $1 trillion,
Yes.
but you could make the impossible possible.
Yeah.
And by speaking, my husband used to speak the word.
Yeah.
In ignorance, that's one of the books I read. In ignorance, you defeat seeds that are sowed. You dig them up.
Wow.
Because I delayed a lot of stuff. He said, passing by the airport. He said, I will own one of this. And I was like, we can't even finish our house. You will own one of this. And he said, wife, what are you doing? I just plant a seed. You take a shovel and you shovel it up. And one day I caught the vision. And when he said, I used to say, yes.
In agreement. Yeah.
Michael Ferry, not you alone will have your own plane. We'll have our own plane.
Oh, yeah.
And one day the young man woke up and he tell me, I'm going to Miami today. I said, you going to Miami? He said, yes, I have to go by the bank first. And he went to the bank. But I know we don't have no money in the bank. So, yeah. He said, okay, brother, go for it.
Yeah.
Yay! He dropped me to school. I said, yay. But I was saying, girl, you're foolish. And do you know, the Tuesday, the bank called me and said, Mrs. Carty, we need you to come and sign. You're working on the dockside, right? Yeah, bring a job letter and we need to go and sign. And because we need to wire this money to your husband in Miami.
Wow.
And we actually, once upon a time, had owned a twin engine
Wow.
airplane.
Wow.
8-seater.
Wow.
And you won't believe it. That happened and my husband passed in 2014, the 9th of January. And the time span, it was, had I known. Had I known. That's a good title. Had I known.
I'm gonna write it down for you so that
me, please.
I can give it to you.
I know. Because he spoke certain things. He spoke that his children are going to be this, and then I'm like, Lord, we don't have money. We can send them to school, 6 of them, and to see them excel. All it needed was for me to, yes, that's what they're gonna be. Yes. The process, I believe, would have gone a little faster.
Okay.
And had I known, it will be. You got that? Had I known. So when you see it out there,
definitely
run. Bye.
Had you known. So it just took you being able to water that seed that he was planting, stand in agreement with him for it to come forth as that team.
Had I known.
Wow.
Had I known.
Had I known.
Yes. And sometimes I long for this person to have a conversation with me and I say, had I known, in the night, how was your day, baby? It's like, I don't want to talk about it. I just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
See, and he would find a turnaround, something to say that would trigger me. And you know what this parent tell me today? Can you? And the conversation was that.
Yeah.
But he knew the little tactics to use. But had I known, now I long for that, but can't happen until I be swept off.
Yeah.
I say, to any young wife out there, don't be like me and say, had I known. Enjoy, utilize that moment. That moment you all have together, utilize it. Don't brush them off. Your husband wants to talk, sit and listen. Sit and listen. Still tongue, sit and listen. And keep building on his dreams, keep building, because he's the head of the house. And if you grasp that vision that, hey, babes, listen to me, we're going to own, yes, babes, and add CDE, not just AB, but add CDE. You give him that push. Don't just sit there and say, well, what am I talking about? No. Positive vibes, positive vibes, positive vibes. It works.
Wow. So many wonderful gems and takeaways just from the had I known.
Had I known. Had I known. Yes.
Wow. You know, Teacher Carty, you know when I'm ready for that, I'm coming to your session. We're gonna arrange some sessions for those that are not married as yet, but would like to be married. You know, these are some good nuggets for us to hear from now. You know, so that in the preparation phase and the thinking phase, we are able to say, okay, you know what? Let me keep this at the forefront of my mind so that I know. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
it's good to know these things from now.
Yep. Speak it. And try your best. I know sometimes negative thoughts come to our heads. Try your best to just delete, dissolve all the D's. The devil is D too. All the D's, and just process in your mind. Yes, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're going to make it. Even though we have 6 children like I did, which is really, I tell you, stick to 2. 6 children like I did. But if both of you are in for it, both of us were wild about children. So yes, 6, it worked for us. But see how you get it done. Things come cheaper by the dozen. For me, that was my slogan. So I went by Prime, I went by Rams. I bought everything wholesale because it will last. So I wasn't like scrunching and scraping like, what are we going to eat? Well,
Yeah.
you make Vienna sausage fried rice, nothing better than that.
Yes.
And you sit and you enjoy with a little ketchup on the side. So you don't have to say, oh, you're just making me get through. No, wives out there, young wives, be creative. Be creative. Don't be like me, had I known.
Wow.
Love.
Love, I love it. Teacher Carty, we thank you so much for being here with us today.
I'm bubbling.
Oh, I am all works too as well. I'm like, okay, mental note, you know, but thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and pouring into us and everyone else that will be watching or listening. I know for sure there's something that someone can get here and take away, whether it's a female or even a male too as well.
Yes.
You know, looking at the example of Mr. Carty, you know, there's just so many wonderful things said here today. And I just want to thank you for taking the time to be here with us.
It was my pleasure. Everything is bubbling inside now. Oh my God, so much to tell. Yes, thank you so much for the invite. I appreciate it very much. A past student remembering her preschool. I was early stimulation. Teacher,
Oh yeah,
3 years old.
definitely. I still have the picture too as well in early stimulation.
yes.
I still have it. See, that's how near and dear I still keep you to me, you know.
Oh,
Well, thank you so much again.
you can.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. We hope that you're encouraged and inspired to do what it takes to ensure that you reign on your journey. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, be blessed.